On August 10, 1942, a rare event occurred. Twin girl Asian elephant calves were born in the United States. Only 1% of elephant births result in twins. One of the girls was named Anna May, after silent film star Anna May Wong, whose film Bombs Over Burma was in theaters at the time. Her sister was named Norma Jean, after actress Marilyn Monroe. Anna May was sold to the Ringling Brothers Circus. She was raised and trained by Ben Williams, who, as a part of their act, would wear a loincloth as he and Anna May performed together. However, tragedy struck in 1982 in Wisconsin Rapids. A woman named Mary Herman was found dead in a parking lot of a, quote, crushing-type injury, end quote. Authorities charged Mr. Williams and another trainer with first-degree murder. However, a forensic inspection later determined that Mary had died from injuries sustained by being crushed between Anna May's trunk and a circus trailer, which Herman entered, startling the elephant. Fearing that Anna May would be taken away and killed, Williams had moved her body to the parking lot. The murder charges were dropped, but Williams was charged $300 for failing to report a death. Anna May continued to perform for years without incident, including acts with Ben's daughters, Stormy and Sky. And when the Williams family retired from circus life, they also retired Anna May to a farm in Arkansas, where she died in 2002 at the age of 57. In the late 1960s, many smaller circus companies were experiencing a lull in popularity, with several companies in the Midwest losing money on tours and frequently selling their equipment, animals, or name rights to other circuses. Clark and Waters was no exception, having sold all of their elephants except for one, Norma Jean, who was now the star attraction of the show. At one time, the Sauk and Fox tribes called the flatlands of Ocracoke, meaning Yellow Banks, home. Settler Stephen Phelps and his brother Alexis founded the town they called Ocquawka. Abraham Lincoln, a friend of Stephen's, would make a stump speech there in 1858 during his campaign for the United States Senate. And at its peak, Ocquawka was a mill and shipping hub. But with the arrival of train travel, commerce went elsewhere. On Sunday, July 16, 1972, the Clark and Waters Circus came to the tiny town to set up the big tent in the city square, which could seat 1,000 people, preparing for 2 shows the following evening. Tickets for the 2 performances were $1 in advance and $1.50 at the door. That Sunday, heavy thunderstorms battered the crews with high winds and rain. Extra locals were hired to help handle conditions brought on by the storms, and with storms predicted to come through the area yet again the following Monday morning, Norma Jean was chained to a tree to prevent her from straying, as she once did earlier in the year, taking a midnight stroll. She was found the next day in someone's backyard in Ligonier, Indiana. Circus employee Larry Harsh, better known as Possum Red, was Norma Jean's devoted handler. He was concerned about Norma Jean and went to unchain her from the tree. As soon as he arrived at 7:30 a.m., a bolt of lightning struck the tree. The blast shot Possum Red 30 feet through the air, with his pair of pliers used to release Norma Jean landing in another direction. When he recovered enough to realize he was still alive, nearby slumped over Norma Jean, killed instantly by the lightning. As word spread, the townsfolk gathered. No one knew what to do with a 6,500-pound elephant. State officials in Springfield, Illinois were contacted, and it was decided she would be buried on the spot she died. A backhoe gently pushed her into a 12-foot deep grave, and Norma Jean was laid to rest. Clark and Walters Insurance did not cover the loss of Norma Jean, which would cost at least $10,000 to replace, and the already struggling circus went out of business. Enter lifelong Oquawka resident and town druggist Wade Malone. He always had a soft spot for animals, so he painted a small sign, planted some grass, and put up a little picket fence at the gravesite. A year later, he convinced his friend Melvin Robbins, who was a stonemason, to build a monument, which he did at no charge, donating the stone from his quarry. A few $100s were raised by the townspeople to purchase a granite monument along with the original 3-foot-high concrete elephant statue from nearby Monmouth. And a frame case holds photos and articles about Norma Jean's history with the circus. 5 years later, on May 29, 1977, a few hundred locals gathered to dedicate the memorial, and when the Friends and Brothers Circus came to town, their elephant, Oka, placed a wreath of white and yellow daisies on Norma Jean's grave. Over the years, interest has continued to grow for Norma Jean. At some point, the original statue was said to have been stolen, and the town came together once again to fund a replacement. Annual Norma Jean festivals have occurred over the years, and plans are underway to commemorate the 50th anniversary of her death. Wade Malone died in 2004. But thanks to his and Melvin Robbins' dedication, visitors can view the memorial, pay their respects to Norma Jean, and for better or worse, learn more about the now extinct role elephants played in the history of the circus.